I mean, we see. I mean, it's basically they'll play a four-man type of a concept, and which turns into a man coverage a lot of times on the outside. But we see that every week, some form or fashion. Some teams major in man coverage a little more than others. Some teams play a little bit more zone. But they are who they are. They're gonna stop the run. That's what they're built to do, to try not to allow you to establish any consistency and comfort in running the football, and they're going to force you to make some plays. But then they'll come back and they'll mix it up. You watch Miami this week. I mean, they played some cover two on first down. So they will mix it up. They got all the blitzes, all the run blitzes. They got the corner cats. They got all the inside stunts with the backers plugging gaps, and then that number 5 is a baller. He's a handful. I mean, he is like I said, he's not very big, but he plays big and he plays fast. Got a big motor, so he's a handful.
Dabo, how would you evaluate the play of Kendall Joseph, and what did you kind of expect from him coming into this year?
I think Kendall's played great. I think he's been very consistent all year long. And if you just look at his grades that we have internally here, he's just been very, very steady. A tremendous job. Filling some big shoes for BJ. BJ played at such a high level for us last year, and we really expected that from Kendall. You guys that have been around and paid attention and covered us, like yourself. I mean, he was in the mix to start for us. He was kind of on the verge of beating out BJ, and he got hurt going into last season, kind of set him back. But by the end of the year, he was back playing well, and his confidence was getting where it needed to be. And then he just has had an awesome spring and summer and become a great leader. He's a quiet leader, but man, he does his job. He studies the game and prepares as well as anybody we have. So he's one of those underrated guys on our team. Not a lot of flash. Don't hear him a lot. I don't even know if he gets interviewed a lot, but buddy, he's incredibly important to this football team.
Coach, what would it mean to you and this program this weekend to clinch your 5th division title since you've been here?
Well, it'd be special. I mean, we've got a chance for a 10th win. That'd be 6 years in a row, and I think that's the level of consistency that we dreamed about and we wanted to be known for. So I think there's a tremendous opportunity there, but certainly if you find a way to win the game, then you got a chance to. Yeah, it's another division title, but it's a chance to go play for the ACC title, and it's a chance to kind of continue to work through our goals there. So, it'd be special. What this group has done over the last few years since they got here. The Ben Bowares and even the young guys that have kind of come in and jumped right on board, whether it's a Dexter Lawrence or it's a Christian Wilkins who's just a sophomore. It's been pretty special. So it'd be a great way to send these guys out and again being division champs and having an opportunity to celebrate that at home, first of all, and then have an opportunity to play in the ACC championship game. I mean, we haven't won ACC championships in back-to-back years in 28 years here. There's still a lot of work to do here at Clemson. We've made a lot of progress. We've made a lot of strides. There's no doubt about it over the last 7, 8 years. But man, we got a lot of work to do. I mean, there's still big accomplishments out there, and so if we can win the division, it gives us a chance to go play for it in back-to-back years, and we've never done that, and we hadn't won it in, like I said, since the 80s. So it's definitely something that we'd love to have the opportunity to do.
What did you think of Petrino's comments saying when they were talking about the college football playoff rankings and committee valuing strength of schedule, and that you guys probably should be number 1 if that was taken really under consideration?
Not really anything. I mean, I'm just worried about us. All that stuff will take care of itself. Everybody just needs to keep playing, and the rest of it will take care of itself. I mean, you look at I was looking at it yesterday, as a matter of fact. I don't even know who put it on my desk, but it had the AP poll, preseason AP poll, And then we had the preseason AP poll with the current ranking of today, and I think 12 of the teams aren't even ranked. Several of the top 10, I think, have losing records. Just goes to show you what them preseason polls mean, right? And why I pay so little attention to that stuff. And it's the same thing where we are right now. And if you look, even when Ohio State, when they won it, I think they were like 14th or 16th in the country, and came all the way up to get into the playoffs. So I think right now it's just, I know there's a lot of talk and conversation. Well, if this and if that and if this and that, that's exhausting to me. Let's just play. And if we take care of our business, it'll all work out the way it's supposed to.
I was headed home yesterday listening to a national radio show, and the host said that, in his opinion, over the last 5 years, Brent Venables is the nation's most valuable assistant coach. Hard for you to disagree with that?
Oh, I absolutely. I think he's as good as there is. He's just unbelievable job what he's done here in every regard. It's been a great fit for me. It's been a great fit for him. We've had a whole lot of fun, working together. He's been awesome for our staff. As far as those guys in that room and the chemistry that they have with Marion. Marion is our co-defensive coordinator. He doesn't get near the credit either. He does an unbelievable job and always has, and they've been a great fit. Dan Brooks and Mike Reed and our support staff, all those guys. But Brent, sets the tempo in there, and he's just been incredibly consistent. And he's grown. It's been fun to watch him, grow. He didn't know a whole lot about Clemson or me or anything when he came here, but it's been a lot of fun to see him, settle in here and just do such a phenomenal job. The players respect him. Again, he brings that mentality that you want to have day in and day out, you can just count on him. He's just incredibly committed to what we do and how we do it, and I can't think of anybody more deserving than that praise.
A great assistant coach. If it ever came available one day, do you think he would make a great head coach? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have any. Why wouldn't he? There's a bunch of guys on this staff I think make great head coaches. And but I think it's one thing to be a head coach. It's another thing to be a successful head coach. And I think those are the things that sometimes people make mistakes in. So I think Brent's just a guy that blooms where he's planted. Loves where his feet are. And if those things happen, great. But I don't think he spends a lot of time worrying about that. I think he wakes up every day trying to figure out how he's going to stop the running back that we're playing that week. That's BV.
Dabo, Tony said that you obviously want to be playing your best football in November. Just how pleased are you with where the offense is right now?
I'm very pleased, and I've been pleased all year, despite some of the disappointment that other people have had. We've played really well. We've survived the drops. We kind of had a little syndrome of that in the first two games. I think we dropped 12 balls in the first two games, and that really kind of got us off in a little funk. And then we've had about 5 or 6 drop touchdowns. That's points. We had one Saturday, but we've made a bunch of plays too. So it all but we've weathered that storm, and then we obviously had a rash of turnovers, and we were able to overcome that. But all in all, after 9 games, I think we have 3 more yards. Is that right? 3 more yards than we had this time last year after 9 games. One last point. And that's with all the drops that we've had early part of the year, all the turnovers that we've had. We've had more turnovers and more drops, but we still got 3 more yards. So I think we've done pretty good. And we've played some really good people. We've played some really good people, some good defenses, and we've had to have some monstrous drives. And these guys have answered the bell all year long. So I think we're better than we were last year offensively. We've maybe done it a little bit differently, We've got more yards and more yards throwing. We didn't have Mike Williams last year, and not going to have him next year either. So, as I've said, we'll make sure we take full advantage of that number 7 while we got him. He's special. I think we're better defensively. Statistically, for sure, we're better in just about every area defensively, and we're without a doubt better in special teams. So I think we're built, the way we want to be, and hopefully we can put the type of November together that we want to have, because that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, we knew who we were in September and October, but it's all about who we are in November, and we're in a good spot, but we got to go play well. We got to earn it. It's going to be a tough out this week, man. These guys here are challenged. The same thing up there next week, end of the season. If you got a chance to go to the ACC championship game, I mean, it don't get any easier. You better be playing and clicking on all cylinders this time of year if you're going to have a chance to win a championship.
With Artavis and Wayne, do you think that's the best decision for them to go?
Yeah, so I think both of them are certainly ready to play at the next level, and that's just, I think Wayne. Again, both those guys are going to have their degrees, and I support them 100% in that. I really do. I think Wayne is definitely ready, and going to make a great NFL player for somebody. I mean, people have no idea what they're getting in that guy. He is something special, and still developing. And the same thing with Artavis. To me, Artavis is why he doesn't get, I don't know, the recognition that this is one of the best football players we've had come to Clemson since I've been here. He is a great football player that just happens to play wide receiver. This kid is dynamite, man. He is so dependable, tough, hard to tackle, great special teams guy. Fast. This kid can run. Has improved drastically as a receiver, can play the slot, can play outside. He can just do so many things. He's going to be a great pro. As far as, where he'll get drafted, those are things that will be evaluated as we move forward. But there's no question he's going to be a great player at the next level. This kid is everything that you could possibly want. Because he's like the Swiss Army knife, man. He's got a lot of options, and I love Artavis Scott. Blue collar, plays with a chip on his shoulder. Y'all used to hear me talk about Adam Humphries all the time, and nobody want to talk about Adam Humphries. Everybody want to talk about the guy behind Adam Humphries, and why is Adam Humphries playing? If I had, how many times I hear that, and he's doing pretty good. And it's the same thing with Artavis, except Artavis is better. Artavis is really he has been a big-time special football player here at Clemson. I think he's third all-time in reception, just past Nuke Hopkins. So I think it's Aaron Kelly and Sammy Watkins and Artavis Scott. And he's done it in 3 years. He's clutch. He's got a little bit of Jerron Brown in him. I used to brag on Jerron Brown all the time. Nobody wanted to listen to me on Jerron Brown. I tell him NFL guys that, because he was sandwiched between Nuke and Sammy. I tell all them NFL guys, I'm telling you, Jerron Brown, this kid is a great football player. But he's got that clutch, just capability. He just seems like whenever we need a big play, Artavis is always involved. And but I'm really proud of that kid. And again, the fact that he came in here and he was a good student in high school, but I don't think he was sold out to being a great student. And then he comes in here and he rooms with Deshaun. That just goes to show you how, you can influence people either way. And all of a sudden Deshaun comes in and he's kind of a different mentality. And now all of a sudden Artavis wants to compete. All right, well, let's compete here. And next thing you know, he graduates in 3 years. I just think it's so rare and so hard to do, especially when you're balancing all the things that these guys have to balance, from performance, expectations, training, obviously the school. He's been one of the best we've had come through here.
Coach, speaking He's had some big catches this year, had a big one against Florida State, like you said, but his numbers are obviously down from the last couple of years because of all the weapons that you have. I asked him about that yesterday, if that ever gets frustrating for him, and he said that it did, but he's going to do whatever it takes to help the team.
See, I don't understand why y'all would ask that question. I really don't. He's second leading receiver on the team. How many catches he got? I know he's second. I think he's second on the team. He got 38. You know how many leading receiver, most catches this team from Pitt's got? Like 20-something. The leading receiver. Why would we even ask that question? We trying to create some drama?
No, I'm not trying
Oh,
to-
so Artavis, are you disappointed that your numbers are down? Is that how the question is asked?
Just asking if that's a testament to the kind of team player. he
That's
is.
baloney. That's what that is. That's trying to create some drama. Oh, are you disappointed your numbers are down? His numbers ain't down. How about the fact he's got 38 catches? You know, he's second leading receiver at Clemson. That's what I'm talking about. I don't understand why we ask that question. I mean, it's just like we don't have any drama, so we want to create some. Are you disappointed? Don't put words in his mouth and lead him down that path. Artavis is as committed, as good a leader as we got on this team. I mean, yeah, Wayne Gallman would like to get 30 carries a game, too. Is that going to be the next one? Wayne, are you disappointed that you only got 10 carries last week? Do you want to get 30? I mean, I don't get that stuff. How about let's celebrate the team? We got a bunch of good players. You know, everybody wants to touch the ball more. I mean, there's one ball. I mean, good Lord. How about let's just talk about how good he's done with the opportunity. And how about the fact that he's played slot, he's played this, he's jumped in at punt return. I mean, he's done a little bit of everything. He's made a huge play, probably the biggest play in the Louisville game that you could possibly have on the kick return. This kid's a great football player. He ain't had a down year, and I don't want that rhetoric out there. He's had a great year, not a down year. It's not all about that.
Just
You know?
talking about his numbers compared to last
Well, I
year.
mean, but it ain't
Not
about
that
that.
he's down.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody's got opportunities, you know? I mean, Ray was a true freshman last year. So Ray doesn't deserve to play? Ray, you know, I mean, what do we do? Just leave Ray on the bench? He's pretty good too. You know, last year Ray was a true freshman learning how to play. And Artavis was a veteran who knew how to play. Now we got two veterans that deserve to play, and they get opportunities to both to touch the ball. It's not a, you know, and Renfro, we try. How about, I mean, he's been pretty good. How many catches he got? Probably less than them guys. You know, I mean, Renfro, are you going to transfer after the year? You only had, 20 catches. I don't like that. That drives me nuts. Where we're just trying to create some type of drama within a football team, where there isn't any.
With the four guys that you said are going to be heading on as their juniors in football, but seniors in school, once you get into postseason play, and it's natural for young guys to start thinking about the next level, is it really just about those guys independently and individually just keeping their focus on the postseason once you're there rather than...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's where this team has been. I mean, this has been a very consistent team as far as how they prepared every week. Easy to coach. Easiest team I've had. I've said that all year. Funnest team, easiest team. I mean, it has been so easy to coach these guys. They just prepare, and, there's been no distractions with them. Even when we've had a distraction, like what I would call a distraction within our team, they just keep rolling. I mean, they just have done a phenomenal job. But those guys, you got to stay in the moment. You got to finish. If you've got aspirations of playing at the next level, at the end of the day, it comes down to how you play, and how you finish. Everything counts, and so they all understand that. Kevin Dodd finished. Shaq finished, and Kevin Dodd, the way he finished, he really helped himself down the stretch. So it's just, again, each guy continuing to do what they do, and that's just prepare every week to do the best you can for that opponent and embrace it all.
As a coach and as a recruiter, when you're pulling these guys, 17, 18-year-olds, can you tell whether they're going to be team guys or whether they'll be more interested in their own independent goals?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's part of our evaluation, and who they are, how they're wired, what matters to them. You know, we look way beyond the tape, way beyond what the stats are, way beyond sometimes what other people say, you know, in trying to really figure out how these guys are wired. And, you know, sometimes you've got, you know, a good kid, but maybe he's got some maturing to do. He's got some learning to do, and that's what our program's all about. But most of these guys won't come here, you know, if they've got the wrong mindset, you know, because we're very transparent in the recruiting process. I mean, we're very transparent, and we lay it out. This is what the expectations are. This is who we are, you know, and it doesn't matter who they are. And, you know, most of these guys that come here, they know the philosophies and how we're built. So we don't really have a lot of those guys that are me-oriented. And if they are, it doesn't take long for that to kind of get exposed within our program. And then we have an infrastructure in place that recognizes that, and then we go to work and trying to help that guy grow up a little bit. That's coaching. It's what we do.
Along those lines, how about your thoughts on Chad Kelly's college career coming to an end?
Yeah, really disappointed, you know, for him. Really, that's a tough break. But you know, I just wish him well. I mean, I think he's proven that he can come back from that strong. I mean, heck, I've never seen a guy work like him. I mean, it's unbelievable what he did when he was here, and when he got hurt the first time. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and how he recovered and how hard he worked to get back for the start of that season. And I'm not sure if he got in that first game, but he played like maybe the second game. I mean, he played early. I mean, he was ready to play. But so I know he'll put, you know, a great amount of work into getting back stronger. And again, you know, it's not like it used to be. You know, these guys now and the technology and the doctors and all that stuff. I thought he had a great career. You know, obviously it's unfortunate. Maybe it didn't go according to script, but you know, it's how you respond. And you know, he went and did what he needed to do, and you know, did a great job in leading his team. And he had some huge games and huge moments. So I think he certainly did enough to show that he's, you know, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. We knew that. That's why we recruited him. And he's definitely going to get that opportunity to play on the next level. And I think he'll be a great player. There's no doubt about it. But first things first, he's got to get back healthy. He'll do that and be just fine.
Do you ever wonder about how you would have handled things if he had stayed? You've got him, you've got Deshaun, how that would have played out?
No, I don't.
Dabo, I know you're so upbeat about every aspect of your team, but what would be like one area or the primary area where you think you need to make some improvement as you go down the stretch here?
Well, I think that we've started that. We're +2, I think, on +2 in the turnover margin. So if you'd asked me that last week, that'd been my number one answer, is we've got to get on the plus side of the margin. And so I think we've started that, and that's still, to me, the number one thing. We've got to do it. We got to take care of football, you know, and continue to be relentless in getting those takeaways. But to me, that's the number one thing. If we can do a great job in that area, then we've got a chance to be really successful. But when you're playing the type of teams that we're going to play this weekend and moving forward, and you give them short fields and things like that, and you don't finish drives, the next thing I would have said would have been, you know, let's make sure we clean up some of the red zone, because obviously we had great long drives against NC State, and we got in the red zone 4 times, got no points, 3 times inside the 5, got 0 points. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. And, you know, we've got to finish those drives like we did this past week. I think we were 6 for 6, and 5 of them were touchdowns. You know, so we've got to be great in the red zone offensively. We've got to take care of the football, and then defensively, we've got to continue to be who we've been all year, and you know, just stay disciplined. We've not given up a lot of big plays. You know, we've been a very good big play defense, you know, all year long. And that was our biggest focus defensively coming into the year, was to be more consistent and not, give up the amount of big plays. And so I think we've improved, and then just continuing to stay committed in special teams. And I think we've done what we need to do. We just got to continue to stay the course.
On the Ben Bower tackle the other day, what did the official tell you, the reason for it?
Oh, he just, it looked bad. And I understand what they were talking about. I was just trying to plead Ben's case because the guy was staring at the goal line trying to continue to run. I didn't think the whistle had blown. Ben could, he wasn't going down, and Ben was behind him and just trying to get a hold of him, and he's trying to pull him back. And it just kind of, he's a strong guy. I don't think it wasn't a planned thing. It's just kind of the way it worked out, and I think it just kind of looked bad, and they threw the penalty. But it is what it is.
Before we go, if you look at our notes today with the amount of close wins we've had this year, there's only one team in Clemson history that had more, and that was the 1948 Clemson team that was 6-0 in games decided by 7 points or less. And we have our captain from that team with us today.
Oh, how about that? I didn't see you sitting there. Got a little goatee going too. Looking debonair. I like that. That's great. Yeah, I was telling our team, when we met yesterday, even 9-0, 1948, 1981, 2015, 2016. I mean, it just, because I want these guys to enjoy their journey. I really do, because it is a special, accomplishment. I mean, it's really pretty special, and I want them to enjoy their time and their chemistry that they have, because when they grow up a little bit and they look back at this time, they're going to realize just how much fun they had and how special it was at that time. So proud of them. Okay, thanks, guys.